Hey guys, it's Christopher Lauer from the Brushfire Mind. I want to talk about what happened this week. So, Flynn got ousted as the National Security Advisor. And, well, the Donald says it was because something was leaked, but that can't be true. We can't have people who are leaking national security secrets in our government. Oh, wait. Remember this one?
My last election, yeah. After my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir and understand.
But I got a military aide with me carrying a briefcase. No, I mean it sincerely. That briefcase has the nuclear codes in it.
I mean, come on. He couldn't possibly point at the football twice.
There's a guy that follows me, right back here, has the nuclear codes.
He did. He pointed at the football twice. Seriously? Our president and vice president can't even bring themselves to maintain basic national security? I should think that on day one of the first things the security briefer says is, oh, and by the way, Joe, don't point at the nuclear codes. Maybe even don't point at the nuclear codes on national television. God. So, I don't want to really get into the emails, Hillary Clinton emails, but we have to mention them because they're part of the problem. But more importantly, a bigger part of the problem was exposed during the hearing. So for those of you who missed it, there was a 4-hour hearing where James Comey was questioned about the decision not to prosecute Hillary for leaking.
So there's no obfuscation here.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
And there's no evasion.
There is no classified material. So
there's no lying.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Sorry. I just Googled Clinton lying. Sometimes that's how it bees. Apparently, it happens occasionally. In fact, apparently it happens a lot, as evidenced by the hearing.
Good morning, Director Comey. Secretary Clinton said she never sent or received any classified information over her private email. Was that true? It is long. Secretary Clinton said there was nothing marked classified on her emails, either sent or received. Was that true? Secretary Clinton said I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. Was that true? Secretary Clinton said she used just one device. Was that true? Secretary Clinton said all work-related emails were returned to the State Department. Was that true? Secretary Clinton said neither she nor anyone else deleted work-related emails from her personal account. Was that true? Secretary Clinton said her lawyers read every one of the emails and were overly inclusive. Did her lawyers read the email content individually?
No.
So in Comey's defense, between Gowdy's questions, he actually gave like an explanation. But each explanation was essentially a long no. I'll pop a link to the actual hearing down in the description below so you can go watch it for yourself. But anyway, we show here a clear pattern of abuse in the handling of national security information. This is a problem. And the problem isn't just with this one incompetent bureaucrat, Hillary Clinton. This problem is absolutely systemic.
But I think the grossest double standard here today is the fact that all the members of this committee, every member of Congress, is not subject to the same law that Secretary Clinton was subject to. And as lawmakers, that means that we have exempted ourselves from the standard of other federal employees. My colleague from D.C., Ms. Norton, referred to this.
Now, there are no rules, so far as I know, requiring members of Congress to use their how they use their official email accounts, whether involving security or not. I don't no one says that's wrong. I don't know if it's wrong or right because there's no guidance.
I have the manual here, marking classified national security information.
Wait, what? I have the manual here, like, oh, that sounds to me kind of like guidance. Look at that. There's actually a document that says this is how you don't do it wrong. That's a thing.
And I don't think you were given a full chance to talk about those 3 documents with the little C's on them. Were they properly documented? Were they properly marked according to the manual?
No.
According to the manual, if you're going to classify something, there has to be a header on the document, right?
Correct.
Was there a header on the 3 documents that we've discussed today that had the little C in the text someplace?
No, they were 3 emails. The C was in the body, in the text, but there was no header on the email or in the text.
So if Secretary Clinton really were an expert at what's classified and what's not classified, and we're following the manual, the absence of a header would tell her immediately that those 3 documents were not classified. Am I correct in that?
That would be a reasonable inference.
All right.
Okay, now this is key. This is important here. I've said a lot in Comey's defense, and I will continue to say a lot in Comey's defense, honestly, but here's a key problem that we have in this situation. Obviously, we've got several Democrats here who aren't even aware that there are rules. They honestly believe that they don't have any rules that relate to them. Not only is that not true, here are those rules. And more importantly, perhaps, not only is this Cartwright chucklehead as wrong as he can be, but Comey just agreed with him. So we have elected officials and the director of the FBI that apparently aren't competent to make decisions about classified information. Here you go. Identify the overall classification of the document, and that's how you get the header that he's talking about. Now, he said if the header is absent, then an expert in this matter would assume that the document's unclassified. That's absolutely incorrect. That is utterly and completely counter to the truth of the matter. If they have been read on, for starters, if they have access to the document to begin with, if they have access to the classified information to begin with, they've been through one of these, a non-disclosure agreement. Hillary Clinton's been through a non-disclosure agreement. In fact, at the beginning of this hearing, without objection, they entered Hillary Clinton's non-disclosure agreement into the record. This is important because of this last paragraph, the last section here, number 12. The document outlines what you do, what you don't do, which laws are relevant. As you can see here, it specifically references U.S. Code Title 18 and Section 952, Section 1924 of Title 18, which is in fact one of the several laws that she broke by handling her email in the way that she did. And the argument that Comey makes for not pressing charges, for not prosecuting Hillary on this, is that she isn't competent to have formed intent. But the truth of the matter is she signed a document that says, I have read this, I understand it, my questions have been answered. So she has sworn under penalty of perjury that she is in fact competent to have formed intent. So there we have clear intent. Hillary should absolutely have been prosecuted. More importantly to the current situation though, Flynn was ousted because somebody leaked sensitive information. That was active. That was somebody intentionally committing the crime of breaching national security interest. This is a problem. As I've just shown you, all a large swath of our most trusted higher up elected officials have been failing this drastically, at least throughout the Obama administration. So I hope you understand that I've shown this clear pattern of abuse, and you can keep up with that. And just know that these are important matters. And finally, I want to point out that these people will say anything to save one another's asses, to justify the crimes they commit. To wit.
And 3 emails would be 1/100th of 1% of 30,000, right?
Only 3 emails out of 30,000.
It was 1/100th of 1% of 30,000.
And tens of thousands of email communications, not
markings, which is, as you described, a C with parentheses, correct?
Correct.
Okay. It is certainly possible that a busy person who has sent and received over 30,000 emails just might miss this marking of a C with parentheses.
It's like they rehearsed this beforehand. Okay, guys, we're gonna make real certain that we remind everybody that there were only 3 emails with markings in them. and even that is disingenuous. There were thousands, literally thousands of emails that contained sensitive information. There were 3 that they had failed to adequately remove the markings from, which is a crime in and of itself. Having seen the markings, they should have been a red flag for anybody who has any business dealing with that. That should have been an automatic red flag. This should have a header. This document is absolutely classified at the highest level of marking to the subparagraphs. But they didn't do that. And then this deminimization bullshit. They're arguing, oh, well, it's not such a big deal because it was only 1/100th of a percent. Hell, Dylan Ruth only killed 200 millionths of the blacks in America. We ought to make him the head of the NAACP, right? I mean, that is the argument that they're making here. Obviously, that's clearly fallacious. We can't put up with that crap. So it is my sincerest hope that the Donald gets up top there and really hammers down on locking out leaks. Good God, Bradley Manning got pardoned for treason, for the kind of treason that gets soldiers killed. So I'll leave you with this. Lock it down, people. You got to handle the business correctly. There are guidelines. Practice safe sex. Keep it under wraps, right? OPSEC, COMSEC, InfoSec, PERSEC. You keep the secrets. If you are in the business of keeping secrets, then damn it, you keep them. Hey guys, it's Lowry in the studio here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check it out, the next one we put out. And absolutely make sure to catch us on Sundays at 8 o'clock. That's 2000 for my favorite customers. And follow us on everything. You got the YouTube channel, Facebook. Catch us on Patreon. We need your support. Twitter over here. And of course, our page, the Brushfire Mind, for our latest blogs and video entries. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. And even $1 a month to the Patreon sure helps us keep this channel going. Thanks so much for your support, and we'll see you next time.